Welcome back to Pretty Vain. And I'm here with Natalia. Natalia owns Sell Your Soul Consignment Boutique in Seattle. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you haven't been doing this long and you haven't been in the area long. What's your background? Where'd you come from?
Well, originally, I'm from the Ukraine.
Oh.
And then I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona for 30 years, and I was in business development, growing my family's construction business back then.
Oh, boy.
And I started loving consignment and recycled clothing, actually, because I had to wine and dine clients all the time for my family's business. And when I started, I didn't have the money to really go out there and buy those Jimmy Choos and buy the dresses needed to catch the attention and like that. So I started shopping consignment, and I fell in love. I was always thinking to myself, these stores are amazing, but I think I could do better. I think I could do better. So I just had this vision for a long time. And about 7 months ago, I turned to my fiance and I said, you know what? This is it. I've got a bit on myself. I took the savings that I had and he applied for a transfer. We ended up here in Seattle, a brand new city. I left everybody and everything that I love to start fresh. I started working on my business plan. I basically locked myself up in a house for 6 months just working on it. And then on March 10th, I did a soft opening for my store. And I am so glad that it all came together because I am actually living my dream. It's amazing.
Well, the luck follows the prepared. And it sounds like you had months of preparing and thinking it through and being very strategic about the whole thing. That's so smart.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with that.
Thank
6
you.
months worth. I think I had 6 days of business planning before I opened my studio. That's impressive. So yours is mostly vintage attire? No, it's everything.
Actually, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I always think of myself as the anti-consignment store because sometimes when I walk into consignment store or recycle clothing stores, it just feels like really overwhelming and there's a lot of things and there's not a lot of organization and you may be able to find a few beautiful things, but you have to dig. And so for me, I wanted a space that felt more like a boutique. So I ended up in a 2-story industrial loft in the back of a historic building. I'm actually hidden. We're very speakeasy-like, and we've got exposed brick walls and like 14, 16-foot ceilings and windows floor to ceiling, and I have everything in there from Alexander McQueen to Alice and Olivia. I really like kind of more modern, young, edgy designers. I love Elizabeth and James. I have a ton of that. And then I also have like the Dolce & Gabbanas, the Chloes, and those kind of things. But then at the same time, I've got, you know, AG jeans and 7 jeans and like that. So if you could imagine it in your mind, it would be like Nordstrom section between VSC and Savvy. Yeah. That's kind of the market that I'm in, and you are like my ultimate demographic is like, you know, young, edgy, fun, fresh.
Thank
so
you.
Those are the people, those are the folks that I'm trying to target. But then again, I think a lot of the things that I choose, because I curate personally everything, it could go across the board because I try to choose timeless pieces and not just trends.
And that's, yeah, especially if you're going to buy anything that might be a designer label that you're going to invest a little bit of money on, that's going to stay for a long time, or at least have a million different options of what to put it with and how to make it work.
Exactly. And, you know, I try to do my store ageless. Even though I love to target young girls like yourself, I welcome, you know, anybody over 40 or 50, come and we will find the right thing for you. I think for me, I just love people in general. And I love to make them feel good, like they just found something so perfect for them and at a price that they could afford. They walk out and they're like, oh, I scored. I want to hear those words from everyone that leaves there. Yeah.
I love it. Well, and to having somebody help you at a consignment shop too, it is sort of like, it is overwhelming, especially if you don't do it a lot. If you're not one of the people who's very good at finding pieces and going through racks and like taking the patience, it is so helpful to have somebody that's going to be able to assist you and show you pieces that might work for them, because they know exactly where they're at and they can talk to you about the piece. And they could have, we had somebody on that was did vintage jewelry and took stones from like antiques and stuff and made it into modern jewelry. And she loved the stories behind it. And so the stories behind some of the clothing, same thing. It can have a really great history, and the person that's helping them, you know, may know something about the piece or have a story behind it, and that would be very cool.
Yes, yes. And I love to work with people individually. We have a lot of also, not only do I help people personally when they're in the store and they do get my personal services, but then we also do private shopping parties where I bring in a fashion stylist and they, talk about trends and what looks good with what, and they help people piece things together. And when they're trying things on, they say, yes, that looks amazing. Or you know what? That would probably be perfect for someone else, but we know that there's something here for you.
Yes.
So, and that's a lot of fun too. So we do a lot of special events, and I think my space is one where you could do a lot of different.
Oh, it sounds like
it's
it.
amazing.
And you have an event coming up May 3rd.
Yes.
What is your May 3rd event? Tell us about that.
Well, we had a soft opening in March 10th, so we've been open just a little bit over a month, and it's been going really great. But I felt like I needed to practice before I actually blew it out and have my grand opening. So my grand opening, is on May 3rd from 6 to 9, and it's kind of like an open house. Stop by. We'll have champagne and some gourmet small bites. And then also we'll have like a casual little roaming fashion show of some of the fashions that I've got in my place. And Gary Manuel is doing hair and makeup for our models as well. So Gary Manuel, shout out. You guys are amazing. My neighbors.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's so helpful to work with your neighbors. I know with Chanel at Chez Chic and a bunch of different places in Kirkland. Oh my God, it's like family. I love it.
It's awesome. And I have Salon Row, like where I'm at. I'm at 2121 First Avenue.
Okay.
Suite 101 in Belltown. And I have amazing salons, Milagros and Gary Manuel. And,
okay, well, let's go back to Gary Manuel. I've been trying to get a hold of them for my hair ties. So you're their neighbor.
Yeah.
So let's talk after the show. If I can help you, and I'm going to come bring my mom shopping. I already looked at her once during this interview and was like, let's go.
Yeah, they're the ones that did this like lovingly chopped hair that I have, Gary Manuel. Yay.
Yeah, so I'll bring you my mom, who's one of the best shoppers in Seattle, and you give me Gary Manuel.
Oh, perfect.
I love it. Okay, we've got a plan. Tell us how they can find you again. You're located on First Ave in Belltown.
Yeah, it's 2121 First Avenue, and I'm in Suite 101, which means you have to walk in a door, down a hallway to the left, and you'll find my loft. So it's a little bit of a trek. We're right behind Cherry Street Coffee House.
Okay.
And so we're inside of the building, but we are so well worth it when you actually
I love the little secret places, though, and especially in downtown Seattle,
so cool.
when you have like somebody visiting from out of state, you want to take them to all those little spots that aren't on the tourist map.
Well, and the
Always
Kirkland
the best
consignment
place.
shops are lacking. I mean, that one just shut down and like didn't pay anyone their money, and no one
was
even they're nowhere to be found. Do you remember that story less than a year ago?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go check it out.
I am too.
I can't wait to have you
And can people
guys.
find you on? Are you on Facebook and Twitter?
Yes. The Facebook is Sell Your Soul Consignment Boutique, and Twitter is at Sell Your Soul WA. So Washington.
Sell Your Soul at Washington. Okay, so we're going to post all of the links on Pretty Vain Facebook and website, all the photos from today, and follow you so everybody can catch up on Facebook as well.
And then that soul is spelled SOLE, not S.
I like it. It's catchy. I've been thinking about it because
Yeah.
I've been sick over the last couple of days, just in bed, and it kept playing through my mind. I was like, oh, I like that name.
Sell Your Soul.
Yeah.
It's
SOLE.
catchy.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
this.
And it's more than shoes. We've got apparel and jewelry and purses and, all that
Everything.
kind of stuff.
Oh, thank you so much for being on the show, Natalia, and telling us all about everything. Will be available on Facebook. When we come back from commercial, we're going to have another Rants and Raves and answer our Facebook and Twitter questions.
Awesome.